What's up, everybody? It's me, Rod, back with you to review the latest pro wrestling news and results. That's Pro Wrestling Rats. Yeah. Can you feel it, baby? Yeah. It is Thursday, 20th of July, and we got a triple threat of rants on a Thursday. This is the second of 3 rants. Late Thursday night wrestling rants. Right here with ya. We went through retrospective first and foremost. This day in wrestling, July 20th. Check out the rant prior to this one if you missed it. There was some interesting stuff on this day in wrestling. But now it's time for a massive list this week as part of midweek must-see matches, where we cover everything from last Thursday all the way to just yesterday, Wednesday night. And what a week it has been in wrestling. What a month it has been in wrestling. My God, the match quality this month has been through the roof on the free TV shows, the premium live events, the pay-per-views. All in all, what a month for sure. And it's not done yet. We still got another 10 days, concluding the month. Don't forget, I'm going back to Chicago for Impact 2 nights next weekend, July 28th and 29th. We're dropping all kinds of content right here, Wrestling Rants. So stay tuned for that next weekend. But let's get into the list of the week. Midweek must-see matches. Extraordinary number of matches this week. One disclaimer before I get into this. There is nothing on this list from the New Japan G1 Climax tournament that is now 4 nights in. We are going to be doing a separate rant. That is the 3rd rant of the night, where we're going to be doing a top 10 takes, taking a look back at the G1 Climax so far with the 10 must-see matches of the G1 Climax so far. Like I said, 4 nights in, there's been some great matches so far. So we're going to break it down, top 10 take style, right up next after this rant. So let's get into the list as of this past week, the 14th of July up until the 19th. And what? Actually, this has been the 13th of July, excuse me, till the 19th. And what a weekend, like I said, it was. Potentially, on this list, we may have seen one of the best tag team matches in wrestling history, which we'll talk about. You probably know what I'm talking about when I mention that. And a whole lot more. 2 particular hour-plus long matches on free TV. And just a plethora more. So let's get into last Thursday's must-see matches. There really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Nothing on Ring of Honor that I saw must-see. I did start watching MLW Fusion this week. Did not find anything must-see on that show as well as far as matches. On Impact, I will give one match, a kind of sort of, the main event, Deonna Purrazzo and Jody Threat. I thought, for what it was pretty solid match. That was my best of the best on Thursday night, so that gets at least an honorable mention this week. On Thursday, the 13th of July. 14th came around on Friday, and we have a couple matches from the evening of Rampage and as well for SmackDown. SmackDown had a U.S. title tournament, doing a little mini tournament for the next shot at Austin Theory. I believe it's at SummerSlam. And in a 4-way, I put this on the list. Santos Escobar defeating Butch, Grayson Waller, and AJ Styles. This was the best in-ring on SmackDown this week. No question about it. Friday, also on Rampage, the Owen Hart semi-final tournament match between Willow Nightingale and Athena. These two once again had a fantastic match. I think I liked the Ring of Honor match they had first better, but this was still a very worthy Rampage main event. And then, as we know, Willow ended up going all the way and winning the tournament the next night on Collision against Ruby Soho. Speaking of that next night on Collision, holy shit. What can you say about the 2 out of 3 fall tag title match between FTR and Bullet Club Gold? I will say one of the best TV tag matches in AEW history. I think it's arguably in the top 3 of the best tag matches in AEW history. This was so good. They spent almost an hour of in-ring it was just phenomenal. You gotta check this match out. In case if you didn't see it on Collision on Saturday, do yourself a favor and check it out. You will not be disappointed. You thought the match last week between these teams was good? Wait till you check this one out. This was fucking awesome. Also, we gotta give honorable mention on Collision as well for another fantastic match. I liked it. The crowd interaction at Calgary at the Saddledome for particularly the tag title match. And this match was very interesting. CM Punk against Ricky Starks. The crowd was slowly in this match turning on CM Punk for some reason. It was a weird situation because I don't think they wanted Punk to be a heel in the way this match was laid out. Particularly, Ricky Starks basically turning heel at the end with the low blow on Punk. Getting the win. I called it in the predictions. Ricky Starks going over CM Punk in this one. Great main event, but an even greater opening match, which was that 2 out of 3 falls match on Collision for the tag titles. Damn, that was so good. So good. As we talked about last week and laying the rant down, that preview YouTube rant we did, Saturday had so much stuff. I think counting up total 16 hours of big time wrestling shows. We had Collision. We had the 2 separate nights of the first nights of G1 Climax in Japan, and we also had Impact Slammiversary, which had a couple matches worth checking out. The Ultimate X match as the opener of the pay-per-view. Go on your way, check that out. I really liked that match. Also, I gotta give props to Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship. I would say of all the title matches on the show, this was the one to check out. And then, also on Saturday, if that wasn't enough, moving into Triple A's Triple Mania 31 Tijuana. We talked about it in the Mega Rant. A fantastic upper top to this show. The last 4 matches really delivered, and I have to say, though, particularly the last 3 matches are must-see. That is the ambulance match with QT Marshall and Pentagon Jr., which would end up being basically a death match. Light bulb tubes and all kinds of crazy spots. Also, the tag match where the losers of the match would go to a hair versus mask match at the next Triple Mania next month. That ended up being a double pin, meaning all 4 of these competitors, Rouge LA Park, Sam Adonis, and Psycho Clown, will be in the last match of this tournament to determine who loses their hair or mask at the next Triple Mania next month. And then the main event of the AAA pay-per-view was Kenny Omega and El Hijo Del Vecchino in a fan-fucking-tastic main event. My God, I mean, just Saturday alone has enough must-see matches for an entire week in one single night. Very historic night in wrestling back this past Saturday. Sunday, really nothing to say. There really wasn't much going on in wrestling. But then let's go to Monday Night Raw on Monday night. A few matches stood out to me. Riddle and Gunther once again had a great match. This, I thought, was just as good as the pay-per-view match they had last pay-per-view at Money in the Bank. Just a physical match, no question. Then a match that surprised me. The Viking Rules match between the Viking Raiders and Alpha Academy. I wholeheartedly enjoyed this match. I thought this was one of the best things on Raw. Just super entertaining from top to bottom. Tuesday comes around and you know it's NXT and you never know what to expect on NXT, but this week there was 2 matches that I really felt was must-see on there as well. The Los Lotharios match making their NXT debut against Dragon Lee and Nation Frazier. Damn, this match. Wow. Just all action from top to bottom, start to finish. Kind of a match that crept up. I didn't expect this one to make the list, but it was that good. And then the main event, the North American Championship, Dominic Mysterio, Wesley. I think just for the sheer crowd reaction alone in this match, it was worth a must-see look. Dominic and Wesley had some interesting chemistry. I think Dominic is slowly coming around to be that guy that can main event shows on a weekly basis. He's starting to really turn a corner. The crowd absolutely hates this guy, and I really enjoyed this match. The main event on NXT, and Dominic Mysterio is now an NXT champion. How about that? Then to close it all off, last night's Dynamite from Boston, Massachusetts. Wow. A match first before the one you kind of expect me to talk about. Let's talk about Adam Cole and MJF against Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Kind of a against the grain, unorthodox booking, at least initially, with the dance-off and all these kind of weird things with Cole and MJF going on. But man, the crowd was so into this. I got so into this just from the sheer entertainment value of it. And then when they got to the in-ring, it didn't disappoint either. And what can you say for that finish? Double clothesline. How about it? So check that match out. And then, of course, that second hour of Dynamite, all devoted to blood and guts. AEW's version of War Games did not disappoint. I personally think this was the best blood and guts match that they've done. I liked it. It had some really crazy stuff like the bed of nails, the glass shards that people kept over and over and over and over falling into. I loved the storytelling of this. This felt like a true blow-up, a true War Games finale of the feud. And wow, what can you say? It was a phenomenal blood and guts this week. Or this year, I should say. And this week was a phenomenal run of must-see matches. Obviously, on top of the pack is that 2 out of 3 falls match from Collision. That was chef's kiss. Absolutely. Blood and guts, I think, wholeheartedly delivered to the nth degree. I have to go on my way to really extra recommend that. I will also really extra recommend the 3 matches from Triple Mania particularly. Check those out. Please watch this pay-per-view. It was so good. Especially if you're into that Puerto Rico wild crowd style and just complete anarchy. That is the show for you to check out those last 3 matches, particularly the first 2 before the main event were just chaotically awesome. So what a week, must-see matches. One of maybe the biggest weeks of the year with the quality of matches. Maybe. This year has been one surprise after another in the ring, so who knows what to expect to close off the week. We're almost at, or close off the month, I should say, here in July. Who knows what we're going to expect this next coming week in wrestling. All right, stay tuned. Top 10 takes. New Japan G1 Climax is next. Right here, Wrestling Events.